I first became familiar with Trey Irwin when he was a sophomore. He was coming out of his freshman football campaign. At the time, I was an assistant coach.
Player and coach, Trey Irwin and Mike O'Neill. I'll never forget the football banquet in the fall of 2011 when Trey whispered to me, "They're going to announce Coach O'Neill as head coach." He was so excited. Mike finally got to know Trey as everyone else knew him as Bieber or the Biebs because of his hair. Trey was a hard worker, and Mike often marveled because he wasn't the biggest of the bunch, but yet he was one of the fastest.
He was one that was always first in the weight room and didn't mind working. He wasn't intimidated. So my first year to be the head coach at Carville High School was Trey's sophomore year. Soon after, in that February, he was diagnosed, or March 2012, he was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer.
When Trey was diagnosed, Mike was one of the first at St. Jude with his wife, Beth. Mike always came bearing gifts to lift Trey's spirits, but the one thing that Trey kept around his neck was a wooden cross. Mike and Trey shared many precious conversations and secrets, such as the uniforms for the next season that was revealed at Trey's funeral.
As a team, that was tough. We had to break the news to, the football team, and these guys took it really hard. They got to know Trey. They knew what a party was of the team, and how hardworking and dedicated he was to being the best he could.
Trey fought to get back on the football field, even if it was just for spring practice, and Mike made sure he had a tent to sit under due to the heat.
That spring we had spring practice and we had a game, and he wanted to be there every day and be a part of it. And by this time he was struggling.
Mike knew Trey needed exercise, just as the football boys did. So the football players would run from the school to our house, and Trey would walk down the stairs from his room and wave to the guys out the front door. I wish I could have been a fly on the wall for some of their conversations. But I know the first person he wanted to go with him was not me to go skeet shooting with D'Angelo Williams, was Coach Mike.
D'Angelo Williams, NFL veteran, he and Trey just had a special bond, and it was really, incredible to see those two and be a part of that event. And it was something that I'll never forget. And Trey could barely hold a shotgun. I mean, this thing was knocking him down, but D'Angelo was just encouraging him, saying, "Hey, look, man, lift that rifle up. Let's give it another shot." And Trey would do it, and just had a great attitude. But that summer we went to Florida. In between that vacation time, I got the word from Lisa that Trey had passed away, and the funeral was going to be during our vacation. So packed up everything we had and we came back. That was the first thing we did, and Lisa asked me to speak at Trey's funeral. And it was just remarkable. I mean, this thing was packed out. All the contacts, all the friends, all the people that respected Trey. It was incredible. It was an incredible thing to witness.
After Trey's death, Mike has continued to honor Trey by keeping the jersey number 13 out of rotation. Honestly, I don't think that just honors Trey. I think that speaks of the bond between a coach and a player. Actually, two friends with something in common greater than football. Their faith that they were not afraid to share, even with their players. Coaches teach more than football. They coach about life, and Mike O'Neill helped prepare Trey for life and for death. We will forever love the O'Neill family.
Trey Irwin's a fighter. He inspired me to really, on multiple levels. approaching different tasks in my life and ultimately approaching my own cancer journey. He really prepared me, and I kind of fed off what, Trey was fighting for. So he put me in that mindset early on. He was a remarkable young man, and I'll never forget that time.